Alright, abusua mincha na misanso emu akwaba emre channel so ena so aye be media GH. Na abusua ena no eyade a honorable Sam George communication minister ene ye mame abna osai asare abusua mo ekohia ewo public account committee na ensem bi koso ema sikasem bi abusua ekopiepie mu na sesia sesia me no wekasai abusua ensem no akokobie ensem bi pono ama sesie eyade a former communication minister mame Osla Owusu abusua sesie no honsem aba abonten a sika twitwidie bi abusua omocha allegedly se mame abra no owo ministry ho no ensem bi anase noma bi ekoso we die mame kasa wa me mame kasa enye tenten pese yekọ na wokote alleged issue aba abonten na se wi abomodi anse be che yadwen ewo comment section na be sha no nso dia man se ha eda so aye be media GHpage se be se wase ene de ka wodi channel so ne di kwan so ye be se wase be subscribe like na wabo so asha for person bi etie no enya bi ate na sana no abusom yetie enkomo a ekoso ewo honorable Sam George ene ye mame abna osai asawe former deputy finance minister during the administration of our former president Nana Akufo-Addo abusua mame public account committee chair no na enkomo akoso muite sa enkomo no yewi a kwakotie enkomo na ekese ababonte ayefa mame Osla Owusu alleged issue ya ababonte fa mame hu emna sesia yedase.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Samuel Nate George, Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram and Minister of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations, and a former member of the Public Accounts Committee. A member in good standing, 8 years solid member of the committee.
That's right.
As we speak, you are not a member. We are not accepting you as a former member either.
Okay. Honorable Abno Siyasar will handle Ministry of Communications.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Did you say Honorable Abina is going to handle our question?
Yes, please.
The way she has charged and hinted and is even disowning me as a member of the committee, then you are leading me into her hands. Chairman, this one, you are feeding your brother to the lioness.
Thank you. Minister, I'm sure you've seen the reports, and you know my worry is the huge amount that you have to justify before payment. A total of 1.79 billion was submitted, and the ministry was able to validate just 821 million. The auditors are asking that you validate 708 million of the amount you submitted. I am worried that you send amounts dating of 1.7 billion, and it's just 800 of that you are able to validate. Please help us here.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I am more worried than you are, because this is public funds, and if the Honorable Finance Minister had not instituted this audit, and it was just a matter of paying requests that were sitting, we may have gone down a certain route. Of the 1,792,950,003 Ghana cedis that was submitted, we were able to validate 821,718,350 Ghana cedis. 263,078,152 was rejected.
Minister, I'll come to the rejection, but okay. My worry now is the huge amount of 708 million that you need to verify, justify.
I'm just coming to that.
That's for me, 708. I'll come to the rejection later.
The 708,153,501 Ghana cedis happens to be just one project. Yes, one. It's just one project.
One.
Yes, and that's why.
Yes.
Chair, I said I am deeply worried.
Yeah, am too.
It has to do with the intention of the ministry dating back to about 2020, 2021 to construct a cybersecurity building and procure cybersecurity software. Chair, the reason I'm worried, or I said I'm worried, is when I took over the ministry, it was one of the first things I tried to look into. Because from my office, when I look out the window, I see the intended site for that building. Now, we had a claim that was made of 708 million Ghana cedi. However, already the government of Ghana has paid 14,336,738 US dollars. 14,336,738 million US dollars 50 cents. All the ministry has to show for that, Madam Chair, is the foundation of a building. That is all the ministry has to show for that amount of money that has been paid.
So the 708 million Ghana cedis, what was
is
it for?
Additional request
Additional
the
request.
ministry had made to finance to pay.
But this is a capital project.
Yes, please.
And for capital projects, you only pay what or the investment you have made into it.
IPCs
such
need to
that
be
if
generated.
it's a project, you raise a certificate to the tune of that the quantum or the work done before you are paid. So how come we are asking government to cough 708 million Ghana cedis for a capital project that hasn't been completed to the tune of 708 million Ghana cedis?
So further breakdown, the project was comprised of software and the building. Now for the software, we had paid 10,930,069 million US dollars 20 cents, 10.93 million US dollars to an Israeli company called Razon Limited. And then 3,406,669 million US dollars for the construction to Mendana and Susa. 3,406,669 million 30 cents US dollars had been paid to Mrs. Mendana and Susa for the civil works construction. So it means that the foundation we see there, we had paid 3.4 million US dollars just for the foundation. And then there had been additional requests to the finance ministry that came to about another 383 million Ghana cedi, 383,966,90 million Ghana cedis, again on the building. Now, for the software, the ministry has not received any work or anything for the $10.9 million that had been paid, and there was an additional request of 324 million Ghana cedis still on the software. Because, Madam Chair, what I'm explaining to you here is we've paid, the taxpayer has paid $14.3 million, 10.9 for the development of the cybersecurity software, 3.4 million for the construction of the building itself. That's been paid. So that's not part of this audit. Yes. Now this audit is because there were additional requests from my predecessor at the ministry to finance for an additional 324 million Ghana cedis to be paid on the software, and then 383 million Ghana cedis to be paid on the building. That is the outstanding 708 million that you see the audit flagging that we need to justify.
Minister, I want to get something clear.
Sure.
The software of 10.93 million.
Yes.
We don't have any evidence of the company providing it to the ministry, even though 10.93 million had been paid to the company?
I met with the company. I summoned
Yes.
the company from Israel when I became minister.
Okay.
And demanded to see work that had been done. They said they had done a baseline study and that they were waiting for additional payment before they go into the development phase.
Minister, do you have a copy of their contracts? And what does the contract say in respect of payments to this? And Minister, those who facilitated the payments to that tune, what did they see to warrant that amount of payment? What invoices, what actuals did they receive or were they given to enable them push 10.93 million to the company?
Madam Chair,
This evidence should be at the ministry clearly if these amounts have been paid.
Madam Chair, getting the documentation has been like treading a needle. My chief director who sits here was director of finance at the time. A lot of the documentation ended up only at the minister's office, didn't even go down to the chief director's office. The Cybersecurity Authority has absolutely no documentation whatsoever. We've managed to pool a number of documents which we can make available to this committee. But, Madam Chair, to answer the specific question of what was seen before the 10.9 was paid, I would have said you and I were not there. I wasn't there, but you were there. You were the finance ministry. But it may not have come to you directly. But this was paid.
Did the audit say that this payment came from the finance ministry?
Yes, it was paid from finance.
No. In this, did they say
No,
the payment came from the finance ministry?
This audit did not deal with the 10.9 that has been paid already.
So,
But
Minister, I mean, let's be devoid of politics and everything. This is a very serious issue.
Sure.
And I want to get to the bottom of it.
Sure.
I was at the Ministry of Finance. This pertains to Ministry of what? Communication. So
yes.
let's speak to that. Devoid of politics, devoid of all the things that we want the TikTokers to carry around.
Oh.
But this is a very serious issue. 10.93 million for no work done, no evidence, as you are saying. It's serious. So, Minister, let's get to the bottom of this.
Madam Chair.
And then the 708 million.
I am getting to the bottom of
Yes.
it. And this is not, I told you, this is one of the things that has left me very worried. And I've referred it to the Attorney
I was
General.
worried myself when I saw 708 million
Because
meant for validation out of 1.7 million that came to
Madam
Ministry
Chair,
of Finance.
you know that
and the
there
auditors.
is, because of your previous role, you know that there is no minister who can make payments on behalf of the government of Ghana without it coming through the Ministry of Finance. As Minister for Communication today, any payment I need to make, I send it to Finance. Finance validates it, approves it, and sends it to the Controller General, who makes the payment on behalf of the ministry against my ministry's votes. And so that's why I'm saying that this 10.9 could not have been paid from any other source except through the Ministry of Finance,
Yes,
which
but
was done.
That is what everybody comes to say here. But I'm saying that definitely it's initiated from the Ministry of Communications. And that is why I am asking, there should be some level of evidence for Ministry of Communications to initiate these amounts from their ministry to the Ministry of Finance.
Madam Chair.
We work with the GHpage. And with these things, you need to attach documents. Finance Director, do you just get up and bring letters to Ministry of Finance to pay? Definitely, you would come with supporting documents. You heard the Ministry of Sports just leave here. And they had to confess that for one reason or the other, they were waiting for evidence that did not come. And then straight away, they sent it to Ministry of Finance. And the auditors flagged it. So I'm asking, there was no evidence of work done. There was nothing. And then this was pushed through for Ministry of Finance to pay. Then we all have a big problem in this country. We all have a big problem in this country. If this is how the payments were effected, we all have a big problem in this country. Finance Director, tell me something.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chair and Chairman, for the opportunity. As you rightly said, finance will not pay anything without it passing through the user ministry. And so a letter comes to the ministry, and then we would process it through the gift mix. And so that is exactly what it is. So as at
So on what basis was this process through the gift mix? It is worrying. It is very worrying that there's no evidence of work done, and the minister is saying 10.93 million was paid for the software and civil works to the tune of 3.4 million, and now the auditors are saying that you have come up with a request of 708 million. I was of the view that usually with capital expenditure, you pay for work done. So for the ministry to push through 708 million Ghana cedis when work hadn't been done, I also have a problem with that one. And maybe that is why the auditors flagged it and said they needed justification before we pushed this.
So, Madam Chair, so that
yes, Minister.
So that we put this in clear perspective, there are two separate issues that are before the committee here. The 780 million Ghana cedis, which has been flagged, sorry, 708 million Ghana cedis, which has been flagged by the auditors, which are requests for payments that were made from the Ministry of Communication in 2022 to the Ministry of Finance, were not paid in 2022, were not paid in 2023, were not paid in 2024. And when Honorable Atuforsen took over in 2025 and caused the special audit to be done, flagged it again and said, we are not seeing the required documentation to support that payment. That is one issue. The other issue is what has already been paid, which was paid in 2021. Part of those payments were done as under the consideration of advance mobilization. But we all know that advance mobilization should not exceed 15% of the contract volume. And so when you have, Madam Chair, if you please let me, if you have a contract where the whole contract sum, both building and software, is about $50 million. About 50 million, was in the region of about 50 million for the entire project. And already you are having 14.350 for the two, yes.
For the two projects.
For the two, for
okay.
both software and hardware. And hardware.
Yes.
I'll get you the full exact amount. But for example, I have a letter here which was dated 11th of February. Sorry, 11th of August 2022 from the Ministry of Communication, 11th August 2022 from the Ministry of Communication to the Honorable Minister for Finance. Heading, payment request, technical operationalization. Sorry, there's somebody who thinks they own my phone. They keep calling repeatedly.
Minister, I mean, I understand that. So 1 minute, let me just.
Okay.
Now you are saying that the software of 10.93 million and then the civil works, it was because advance mobilization was paid. But even that one, it was breached. So, I mean, yeah,
that's why I'm reading this letter, because that payment.
Because 15% should be about 7.5 million and not the 14 million that has been paid.
Madam Chair,
so even that one,
yes,
there's been a breach.
And that's why I'm saying that payment was done. And there was even a follow-up letter. The follow-up letter is what I'm referencing, 11th of August 2022. The letter is headlined, Payment Request, Technical Operationalization of the Cybersecurity Authority. The Ministry of Communication and Digitalization forwards here with a letter received from the Cybersecurity Authority with accompanying invoices from Rayzone Group Limited and Mendana and Souza, the contractors for the technical operationalization of the Cybersecurity Authority. The breakdown of payments made so far is as follows. Then for Rayzone, milestone, advance payment, amount requested, 13,590,000. So 13.59 million US dollars. Amount paid, that's the 10.93 that we've paid. Amount outstanding 4.837. Then for the next milestone, PDR, 9.06 million US dollars, which had not been paid. So this request, sorry? No, software alone.
All this software.
All of software. So there was a request on the 11th of August 2022 for 13.897 million US dollars to be paid on the software. Now on the civil works, advance payment was 4.023 million, 4,023,000 on the civil works. Amount paid was 3.406 million. So there was
we some who do it me call so our channel so I'm not so Ghbrain. That's an so bad India don't be a dominion, yeah, the best sign Asia.